So obviously, so when we discuss about it, maybe some viewers might consider it as our opinions, and we are also maybe thinking or probably uh, anticipating about something that might or might not be true. But on your visits to the different temples in India or outside India, do you think there is something really different about a temple that makes you believe that human for any human it's literally impossible to do, and the belief of the existence of aliens maybe gets more firm with that kind of technology?
If you look at the Kailasa temple in Ellora Caves, it's said to be built in 18 years. Now they keep changing. Originally when I visited the Kailasa temple, that's maybe like 15 years ago. I was the first one to document the Kailasa temple. They said it had 800,000, 8 lakh tons of rock removed. Now today, if you go to Wikipedia, it'd say 400,000 because they keep pushing the number down to make it more feasible.
Okay.
But like imagine converting a temple, converting a mountain. Imagine
Is
converting.
your video?
Yeah, I think it should be my, yeah. At that time, we didn't have any camera equipment and we had to do a DSC. We're trying our best 15 years ago. Now, this is made just from one mountain, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. They just take a mountain or a hill and they just carved. Okay. And it has multiple floors too. So if you see here, you can see multiple floors on maybe there. Oh, sorry. So you can see multiple floors there, and you can see a bridge. You can see kind of a balcony. You can see carvings. And what you see is that, like, think about this, right? You had to plan everything and execute this without any errors at all. Okay. And it's just an extraordinary temple, which kind of defies all explanation. So if you go to the Kailasa temple, it literally makes you wonder how the heck they built a temple like this. It literally makes you wonder if it was being built with the knowledge of the gods or the knowledge of the extraterrestrials. Yeah. You've been there?
No. But it feels a little. You feel amazed to see such kind of technology, or even when we see the temple, isn't it so probably amazing to know that what kind of material was used while maybe extracting or even the stone during those times, even the structure which was made,
Yes.
the carving that has been done, how is it still the same?
Yes.
Or probably just maybe similar to what the way it was created thousands of years ago, and it's as similar as it was before.
Yes. This is a very advanced technology, right? And see, at least I'm showing you the screenshots from Wikipedia, right? And it shows the timeline, right? 756 to 776 at that time. And if you look at the Wikipedia page at that time, it says 800,000 tons. But then they now keep changing to make it appear more possible, right? Because they just keep altering the data to suit their own agenda.
What are these carvings about?
Well, on one side, you'll find Ramayana. And on the other side, I think you'll find some parts of Mahabharata. Yeah, see?
It looks like Vanara.
Yeah, that's Ramayana. Yeah.
Is this inside?
Inside, yeah. Inside. Even the main lingam itself is also just part of the mountain, that one. Oh, no, it is 400,000, I think. I think maybe I took half.
This is the Shivling, right?
Yeah, that's the Shivling. I was just showing them that for every hour, if if the time they were giving, I think they were just giving 18 years to build this temple, right? So that means for every hour, they had to remove 5 tons of rock. That means 500,000,
Whoa.
5,000 kilos of rock every hour they had to do continuously, right? That
So some
seems,
people argue and they might say that there might be hundreds and hundreds of people working.
yes.
So how do you think the alien concept matches this idea?
It doesn't. If you argue, and what I'm trying to say there, if you have the time, you can watch that video. What I'm trying to say there is I'm basically taking the numbers and I'm reducing the numbers as much as I can, right? And I'm saying that it'll take 5 tons every hour continuously, right? But then if you see their timeline, they keep saying that we don't have this kind of technology. A temple like this was not built before that. You see? A temple like this was not built before that. So that means they had to do it without any errors. And this removal doesn't involve the carvings, like making the minute carvings of all the stuff. And it doesn't involve the planning and the architecture. So it just actually increases the man hours more and more and more. And even if you had, let's say, 1,000 people working, right? Still, you had to remove 5 kilos every hour without any breaks, right? So, and this is the technology that we're talking about. And now Kailasa is the temple that was constructed with this kind of technology. What kind of a new technology is that, right? So let me tell you, right? So you are building the studio. How do you build? You're building a house. How do you build? You start from the ground level, right? And you get a lot of materials. You get the bricks, you take the stones, you take the concrete, you start building by adding materials from the ground level.
Right.
This is the normal way of constructing anything, but it's by adding materials to it. It's by adding stones, it's by adding wood, it's by adding metal, right? And you start from the ground level. Now, this is the positive construction technology. Kailasa Temple uses the exact opposite technique. It did not add one thing to it. Did you know that? There's nothing external added to the Kailasa temple. Not even the main lingam is an external stone. So they created the entire thing by removing the unwanted materials. So they did not add any metal, they did not add any wood, no cement, no brick, no stone, nothing external was added to it. Just by removing the existing rocks and whatever was unwanted. So the lingam is not the lingam. They didn't make the lingam. They just removed.
Carved out the unwanted.
Exactly.
Stones.
So the pillar you saw, massive pillar, right? Maybe 30, 40 feet pillar. To create the massive pillar, normally you would make a pillar and go and erect it, right? They didn't do any of that. They just had to remove the whole mountain around it. They had to remove 40 feet kind of a radius around it. So it's an extraordinary temple that was created. And again, the timeline, even mainstream archaeological account, 1,300 years ago. 1,300 years ago. It's very old. You don't find many structures older than that. So yeah, I would say, I would challenge you and say, how did they come up with that technology? Right? How did human beings come up with that technology to create a temple like that? And that's why I keep saying, and same thing with the other techniques too. How did Sushruta Samhita mention all the advanced surgery? Right? Right? But was it caused by evolution? Well, did they start doing one surgery at a time for 5,000 years? Right? Or was it handed to them by somebody? And literally, and this is the funny part, I met a cosmetic surgeon. Like he's a plastic surgeon in California. And they do a nose job. They like if somebody has a bad nose, they kind of fix the nose. They call it the Indian flap. Still, because India was so famous for the nose job, the rhinoplasty. Like you know how today the actresses and actors do this. India was so famous even back then. Like whenever anybody had trouble, and at that time, all over Europe and Middle East, when especially for women, I think, when the woman was kind of did something bad, the best way to insult her was to cut off her nose.
Yeah, that's what happened in Ramayana.
Shurpanaga, right? Yeah. So to cut off her nose, right? It was like kind of make her look terrible, I think.
Right.
But India was the capital
Of
rhinoplasty. India, like that's why they still call it the Indian flap. Even the doctors in the US call the nose jobs will be like Indian
Right.
flap because everybody came and they always did the Indian flap.
Right.
And they talk about where to take, how to take the skin from your thighs and
Right.
put it there.
So basically, what the idea is that you mean to say, as per whatever we have discussed today, that even if everything was happening, the question comes is how did humans at those times were able to think of making such big figures and to follow a certain process like Kailasa temple. So the idea is that humanly this might not be possible. So there were aliens who maybe invented, who gave this a thought, or who were the initial builders of something like this, which even today we do not have a concrete evidence of.